Okay, we're back now. We're going to put the screen back into the phone, a new screen. This is the screen that I took out, and I am putting this screen right here back in. It's a little bit different. It's a white screen. I bought it on eBay for about 60 bucks. The bad thing about this one is I had to actually glue the white frame onto the glass. Or when you, one of the other screens I bought on the internet, this frame comes already glued to the glass. So this one it came separately. So I had actually I actually ended up just using household goop and spreading a little bit on the corners and putting it in there, which I'll be able to clean up all that glue later on. But so I had to try something a little different here. We're going to put this white screen back in place of the black one. Okay, so first thing we do is just very gently feed these ribbon cables through that slot like we did when we took them out. Very gently. Be careful not to damage those when you put those in. And I think I'm going to have to pull that back out of there. I think I got a little glue holding that back on me. Which is okay. I'm just going to get that out of there and try and put it back in there. So just take that in there. Pull on the ribbons, pull them through the slot. Make sure they're through the slot all the way. Push it down into the frame. I was a little worried that this wasn't going to fit right because it's like this white frame, but so far it looks good. Looks like it's fitting not as good as the black ones that I put in, but hey, it's worth trying something new, right? And that kind of looks kind of cool, actually. Got that black button, which is going to be interesting. So, okay, good. So anyway, I'm going to proceed to put the screws back in. I'm going to start off with the 4 corner screws. Kind of work in reverse. I'll start with my first 4 corner screws, and then I'll proceed with the 6 screws with the washers. So let me just come back after I put those 4 screws back in. It may take you several tries to get it to go on. Now what I got is a little magnets that I put around the back of my little mini driver here to hold them in place while I insert the screws into the, which still makes it tricky, but you know, it's easier to get, much easier to get it started. See how much easier it was to get that one started. Just tighten them in there, make sure it's pinching down while you do it. I'll come back after I put the 4 corner screws in, okay? Okay, I'm back. I got the 4 corner screws in, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 corner screws. Now I'm going to work on the 6 screws with the washer, which are here, 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 and here. And here's the trick. You've got to load up a screw and a washer, and I'll kind of show you how I do it. Stick out a screw here with my little magnet on there, and then you got to put a little washer on there, which makes it really tough. Screw somewhere that they're going to keep getting stuck with my magnifying glass out of the way here. So again, I stick a screw on there, get it on there, stuck on there really nice. Magnet's holding it. Some of the drivers that you can get are already pre-magnetized to hold your screw nice. So I get my screw on there ready to go. I'm going to be putting this one right here under that little tab right there. So I'm just going to hold it up. And I'm putting the magnifying glass under here so I can see. So you guys can see. Put it up under here. And look under the magnifying glass. Pinch down on the glass to the frame so it puts it on nice and tight. If you pinch right here, it'll put the frame real nice and tight to the frame. If you pinch while you're screwing. If you don't, then it's not going to hold your frame really nice and tight. And you can see now I got 2 of my screws into this one and that one are in. So I'll come back after I get all 6 of those screws in. Okay, so got all our screws in. I finished putting in the 6 screws with washers here and the 4 corner screws, and now we're going to start reassembling the components inside the iPhone. The speaker here is going to go in the back down here. The motherboard here is going to slide right back in here again. We're going to put the camera over here, back in here. We are going to put the vibrating motor is going to go back in here. The shield right here is going to go on top with its screws. We're going to finish off with the battery, install the battery, and put the shield over here that goes over top of the, whoops, wrong shield. Put the shield, this is my battery shield here. This is the shield that goes over the motherboard. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start installing the components, starting with the speaker here. Okay, so it's a little tricky. I just got to stick this in here like this. And stick it in there like that. This can be tricky here because, as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit better again. As you can see, you got these connectors here that want to pop up. So you got to actually have these connectors. They actually got to pop in down below. Just gotta be careful that they don't catch. Pop those connectors down in there, so they're going to hold down there below. And then we got a screw right here that holds it down. Here's my little Phillips here. Screw that in there. Nice and tight. Okay, good. That should hold it in place while I put our motherboard back in. Something does not feel right here. Well, that's what it is. I got the battery tab in there. That's something felt funny there. Something did not feel right. And sure enough, it did not. Okay, good. It's going back in there. And there we got our motherboard back in place. Tab down there. Okay, good. Now we can start replacing our screws, starting with this bottom corner one here. And that's this one right here. Find some way to organize yourself as far as when you put your screws in and how to put them back again. Okay, good. There's a little connector right here which you got to tap back down in place. There. Good. You hear a little click when you get that on there, right? Okay, we're going to continue working on it. We just put this screw in here. We got our connector on here. Now we're going to finish off putting these connectors down. We're going to put that little screw right in there first, which is that funky screw that has a screw within a screw. So I actually use a little mini straight bladed driver for this. Actually, I'm going to put my straight bladed driver, so I put this in that little hole right there. It goes in there like that, and then we're going to screw that down there. Okay, I want to show a close-up of that. You can see what I'm talking about there, that little driver. And I couldn't use my Phillips there, I had to use it. Get that down there nice and tight. Okay, that had to go in there first. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these connectors down here one at a time, which can be tricky. Just going to pop those down until they click. Again, if you can see this pretty good. Got like a little foam backing to them, which makes it nice and easy to manipulate them. You can hear them click. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. This one is from the new screen, so you gotta bend it a little bit and then line it up and then pop it into place. I got popped all my other connectors off when I did that. Okay, this is another new connector from the screen. Again, you're going to line it up and click it into place. Make sure all those are down nice and firm. Okay, good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my camera back in here. Okay, there's my camera back in place. I'm going to just connect that, push that connector down there. And that does go in there nicely. Okay, good. The next thing we're going to do is put this. Oops, I don't prefer to put the guard back down. I'm actually going to put. Actually, I can put the guard down first. We're going to put this guard down into there. You can see the screws that fit down over top of that. So it's important to get that connected on there right. Put that down in there. Make sure that is connected correctly. You gotta make sure you fitted it in there properly. Now you gotta make sure that you got the screws lined up correctly. You gotta make sure these are all different screws that go in here, so make sure you keep track of these when you go ahead to pull it out. This corner one is a nice big strong screw that holds the side of that shield in there. And let's go ahead and continue putting the rest of the screws in where they're supposed to go. I think this is my long one that goes down here. Let's see how long this screw is. You can see that pretty good. It's a long one that goes down up top here. Okay, looks good. Okay, we got a little tiny one here. Okay, I'll just seize it real quick. We got one more screw to go right here. This is a tiny little one. Goes right down there. This holds down that shield a bit better. Okay, so I got all those screws down here. Let's go ahead and put my motor back in here. And this face is kind of upside down like that. Goes in there like that. The long screw goes on the left. One of those long ones like that right there. This goes on the left. Oops, it fits down in there. On like a little spring. And we're going to add that tiny little one back in here. Again, having the driver magnetized really helps hold those screws in there. Okay, we got that in there. We got all those other screws. We're going to put our motherboard. That's one more screw I forgot to put in. And I don't see it. Here it is. This is the screw with the little white on top of it that fits right here. Goes in like that. One of the main motherboard screws. Get that in there nice and tight. This is the guard. As you put this connector back down again and snap that into place. Oops. Make sure you hear it click. Goes into place just like that. We got two little screws that go in there. Again, these screws are different, so make sure that when you take these out, you have them organized back in correctly. Okay, good. Okay, that's in there. All we got left to do is put the battery back on. Okay, so pull that tab back so we can get the battery out easily again if we want to. We're going to make sure we put this connector down properly. This is our battery connector, and we're just going to pop that on there, make sure I'm lined up nicely. And pop that into place. You can hear it click there. Okay, then we have our battery shield here, which goes on there like that. Okay. My battery shield screw here. And we're just going to pop that right in. Maybe easier said than done. Okay, our battery connector shield is on. Check to make sure everything looks like it's connected correctly. The last thing we need to do is put our cover back on. So we slide our cover on like that and then slide it down into place. Then we're going to put our last two screws in there, which in my case is the pentalobe screws. You may have the mini Phillips. Newer iPhones have these pentalobe, but you need this special driver which you can get on the web. I couldn't find any local place that sold these. I got it from one of the iPhone screen retailers. In there. Okay, screw that in there. Nice and tight. So we're going to put our handy dandy SIM card back in. Powering back up again. One thing that the new iPhone screen that I got didn't come with is, here's a new screen. It doesn't come with the little screen that goes over the ear. So basically it just goes right through there. Okay, so if you want to take one off your broken screen. If you want to take one off your old broken screen, you just take a knife, a razor blade. You can pull off the little mini screen right there. There's the little screen, and you can stick it onto your new screen. I'm hoping the adhesive, one thing you can do is take it off your old phone and just glue it into place. And there, now it is. Now it's into place. Now when you look through the screen, now you look through there, you see the screen is in there. So it's good to go. I think it should stay. Okay, that's it.